Well, hello, it's Mailbag Day, and I have 3 items for you. First, from Steve Isdall's new backup channel. This was in a video called Absolutely Most Terrifying Story with a Tragic Ending. At the 5-minute mark, the Sasquatch has already charged a man and bared his teeth at him. The man describes its teeth. They were mostly yellowish white in the middle, but shrouded in black. Shrouded in black. A little unsure of the use of the word shrouded, but that was interesting. Our late friend here, our deceased friend, has very black teeth, and we have thought that it may be in part due to iron overload. Mount Hiba being very rich in iron sands, and the Hibagon being your apex omnivore. He's going to be picking up iron everywhere. And as the tuna fish accumulates and concentrates mercury in itself, the Hibagon is going to have a very, very high load of iron, which could result in black teeth. And thank you again to Smorgasbord for making that connection. Well, it was just interesting to me. Let me know, please, if you hear of any more Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Hibagon with black teeth. Next is an excellent comment on our late friend here with practical ideas that might help us to find this location. And if we can find this location, if it's still there, if this location hasn't been obliterated, I think we have a good chance of finding the skeleton. Here we go. Thanks to your intriguing channel and book, I am fast becoming a Hibagon enthusiast. I have 2 thoughts about the skull. I think the creature suffered a serious crushing injury and/or a bone-eating infection in the face. Ew, that sounds horrible. Leaving a divot in the face from the typical location of the upper right molars toward the medial aspect of the eye socket. This would have made eating very difficult, resulting in starvation. Secondly, the poor beast appears to have periodontal disease in the lower jaw. The bone of the lower jaw is eroded around the roots of the molars. This being likely suffered for some time before its death. At the end, this creature was likely traveling a short distance from a source of soft food to a water source, to shelter, to a south-facing slope for the meager heat of the winter sun. Well, that was a great comment. It's perceptive, it's thoughtful, it's constructive, it's poignant. It doesn't call me dirty names. Welcome to Team Hibagon. Author, Cosmic Rancher. The hairy, beastly arms of Team Hibagon embrace you. I like the cut of your jib. And please feel free to share more thoughts. I am always watching for this spot whenever we go up there, but I will be paying extra special attention now to south-facing slopes. Like this one, like this one. Now, this was my #1 pick as a possibility where we might find this location and this skeleton. It is a south-facing slope. It was my #1 pick for several reasons. When we first went up there, it was already roped off. But I can show you what it looked like, thanks to this old Fuji TV film footage here. That's what it looked like. And I think a high possibility that this was the resting place of this friend here. But it was roped off. My wife was with me. At that time, much smaller children were with me. So I was saving it for a time that the children would be bigger, or I could go alone or with another adult. I thought we had time. After all, the gully was there in the same untouched condition for 52 years. 51, I guess. I thought it could wait, and it turns out it didn't. It couldn't. And it is obliterated. At the same time that this is going on, the government is ripping up the last mile to Grandma's house. They're widening it. Now, they are indeed widening it. It is going to be wider, but if you... It's perfectly wide enough now. It has 2 full lanes. 2 trucks can pass easily. And I'd see maybe 2 cars an hour on it. 2 cars an hour. If I were given to paranoia, I'd be feeling a little paranoid right about now. 2 prime Hibagon spots featured in my videos, and both of them getting ripped up at the same time. One of them destroyed. Well, thank you again to that commenter, Cosmic Rancher. Now, this letter arrived from a citizen spy of ours, an intelligence agent, intelligence gathering agent in our service. And this is why I've been doing this, letting everybody know that I'm chasing the Hibagon hither and thither, and whether they think that's funny or not, I implore them to just keep their eyes and ears peeled for sightings or stories or legends or whatever, because I'd be interested and I'd be grateful. Well, this lady came across this. She writes, I'll skip the salutation and personal remarks. Okay, she writes, Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine about winning this year. Do you know? Now remember, English is not her first language, so cut her some slack. Professor Spandipevo. She's writing this in phonetic Japanese. I'm just reading it as it's written. Professor Spandipevo won the prize in physiology and medicine. He is in a German laboratory and a graduate school at the University of Okinawa. He is a researcher of human change, and our correspondent has underlined this with heavy underlines. He is a researcher of human change. He has a close relationship with Miyoshi City, Hiroshima Prefecture. Well, that's up very near to Mount Hiba, and it's nowhere near the Okinawa University where he works. He has been going to the Miyoshi city every year since 25 years ago, and he's staying at a Zen temple. The name of the temple is Saiko Zen Temple. He's doing Zen. He's writing manuscripts. One year he spent 3 months at the Zen temple. He also came to Zen temple of Miyoshi City in September this year. He and the Zen priest are very close friends. When he was awarded the Nobel Prize, the Zen priest was very happy. I watched this news on television, and now she comes to her conclusion, and her writing gets much more excited. She says, "When I heard this news, I thought Professor Spandapevo has been researched about Hibagon." Hibagon in all capital letters, and then some large capital question marks and exclamation marks. Finally, she asks, "Miyoshi City and Hiba County are close?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, our lady spy friend is talking about this fellow. Swante Pebo is his name. And chasing down hominins is his game. Hominins, that's what are often referred to as archaic humans. Or I suggest calling them parahumans. His Nobel Prize motivation: for his discoveries concerning the genomes of extinct hominins and human evolution. Well, that's his opinion. He's a founding director, Department of Genetics, Max Planck Institute in Leipzig, Germany, and adjunct professor, Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology, Japan. Well, Okinawa, of course, is way down here, down by Taiwan here. That's an awfully long distance from Hiroshima Prefecture, let alone Miyoshi City, nestled high up in the Chugoku Mountains. Miyoshi, population 53,000 and change, is a very nice place. I like it there. You should go and do some sightseeing, driving around, visit the winery. We can say of it, however, it is not an academic center. Now, is Dr. Pebo such a committed, such a serious, committed Zen Buddhist that he has to enter a monastery or temple and practice it a month or 2 or 3 out of every year? Maybe he is. Let's give him that. But why here? Miyoshi is not an academic center. It's also no Zen Buddhism center. For that, you would look to Kyoto, I imagine. Maybe Nara. If Dr. Pebo just wanted a Zen Buddhist temple, just any Zen Buddhist temple, there are dozens of those in Okinawa. There's no need to leave your place of work. Maybe your family is also there. There's no reason to come all the way up here. Dr. Pebo and this priest are friends. Well, that's fine. That's good. Let me ask you, how many people do you know who will take month-long or 2 or 3 month-long vacations at their friend's house? Let me rephrase that. How many hard-driven, ambitious, probably workaholic, Nobel Prize winners do you know taking month-long, 2 month-long, 3 month-long vacations at their friend's house in the boonies? Probably none. People like that, ambitious Nobel Prize winning geniuses, are usually always working, even on their holidays. I'm not even a Nobel Prize winner, but I work on all my holidays, and if I get a vacation, you know where I want to go? Not Hawaii, not Las Vegas, not Disneyland. Yeah, that's right, Mount Hiba for one. But I have lots more, too, on a long list that I can never seem to get to. Well, the list is growing faster than I can check places off. And all of those places, most of them are Hibagon related, or megalith related, or ancient castle related, related to my interests. What are Dr. Peibo's interests? I think this lady, friend of ours, is very right to smell something fishy. Or Hibagon-y. She might even smell a rat. What do you think? Should I write to this man? Ask him ask him what's really up. Ask him if he needs help finding these extinct hominin archaic people, making contact with them. Ask him if he'd like to see some of their artifacts and monuments. Would that be a good idea or a bad idea? You, Team Hibagon, friends, you always give me good advice. Please advise me on this. Meanwhile, I'll try to find out more about this Dr. Peibo, and I have to put together that video on Bingo Akasaka. I've learned more about it. It's very interesting. Okay, this has been your special mailbag edition. Thank you. Keep on having that super duper week, and I love you. Bye-bye.